parts of Wayne and throughout the world, welcome to Monsoon Live. I am Jeffrey Monsoon Mysick, and yes, Celine Dion, I am your lady, playing for us as we welcome you to our February 22nd show. And with 3 weeks left before Mania 21, of course, sponsored by Yahoo or Wawa, because, frankly, we drink Wawa and I work there. They've been helping us. We are gearing up for a monumental event, Mania 21. And today on the show, we are looking back on the history of this show. It's been 21 years since the very first Mania. So today you're going to get an inside look at the historic history of this show. And the foundation that the very first Mania did has continued to this very day. And the evolution from kids news to now the Monsoon Live era. So sit back, get your cup of joe. If you're snowed in, you can watch us and have some fun with us as we look back on the history of this show, i.e. the one event called Mania. The evolution of Mania, the story, the foundation began in 1994 when I decided it was time to do something to wrap up the school year. It was decreed that the last show would be called Mania, i.e. Kids News Mania. This show was a celebration. It looked back on the school year, and it was appropriate. I was doing the morning announcements at Vince Elementary, and we did a show called Kids News. So Kids News Mania was decided. Now, the name Mania came from an idea like, hey, it's WrestleMania. It's our big show. Let's Beatlemania. Let's do Mania. I like the name. That's how it became Mania. Following the show in 1994, everyone wondered, would there be a second one? Well, guess what? We did. Kids News Mania number 2 aired as we wrapped up the finale in good old Vince Elementary. Now the question was, what would happen next? We moved on to the middle school, and Mania itself would lie dormant just for a little bit, for 3 years. It was tied in with the weather report just to talk about it, and it'd be done live in front of people, but that was it. And Mania was always at the end of the school year. Then came the resurrection of Kids News. And in 1998, which started out as a guy in a suit and tie to what we have today, happened. Kids News I decided that we're going to add dance to it. And music was added, and thus became the Kids News era. And at Mania 1999, with strobe lights blaring, this song made its premiere. In front of the freshman class of Owen J. Roberts High School, well, the ones that were in career prep, Mania 1999 saw the resurrection of Kids News to its infancy. The Backstreet Boys kicked us off an era that would go all the way to 2002, where dance was added, and we took the topic that we were talking about in class and used that as the basis of the show. Sort of sounds familiar what we're doing now. Following the historic Kids News Mania 99, I decided, well, we're growing up. Kids News became Teen News. Mania followed, and the format of song and dance continued. And in 2000, on the biggest stage ever, up to that point, we premiered a new dance routine, and Mania was talked about World War II. And of course, this song premiered. The good old Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, would premiere. NSYNC, we did a little bit because we got a little surprise for you. After that, Teen News Mania continued. And in 2001, we did another show, and it was done in an English class or social studies class. But the highlight of the Teen News era came in a trifecta show, because it was June 3rd, and we had this to say to our beloved Owen J. Roberts High School. June 3rd, 2002, and then June 13th, we said, Yes, we closed the books on the middle school era and then the high school era. But in Owen J. Roberts was done. We graduated and moved on. Then came WDCR. It was a grand event. But we had a problem. The first Mania was held in 2003, and it was held in May. But it didn't feel right. We needed something more. With all the events that occurred in 2003, we decided it was time to change the date. And thus, the change began. Because in 2004, it was decreed that Mania would be held on March 15th, 1 week prior to my birthday. I mean, it's called Ego, Thank you. We decided that Mania should be moved right before the first day of spring. Spring is a time of renewal. It's Lent. We also have Easter. So we're celebrating the end of the year and the renewal of our soul and our spirit. That's big, and it would play a major role in what would be occurring in a couple of years at Mania 20. So for the 10th anniversary of Mania, we played all the old music on the radio. We didn't do no dance routine, and we continued onward. Mania in 2005 was held in Cherry Hill, and in 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009, and pretty much 2010, it was done publicly. It was done in front of people. It was also done as well on a thing called MySpace. In 2011, we continued to do Mania, and 2012. 2013 and 2014 would mark the last time Mania would ever be done live in front of, but not recorded. This year, yes, Mania 21 will be aired on our YouTube channel. For the very first time, we are recording the entire show. We're going to air the entire show live right here on our YouTube channel. Mania's evolution has been, it started out looking back on the school year, and now it is looked back on life. This year, we are proud to announce that we are inducting 5 people into the Hall of Fame, into our brand new Monsoon Life Hall of Fame. We're also excited that this year alone will be the biggest month ever. We have a major Monsoon Live Unplugged, which you'll find out more in a couple of weeks. And we are launching the Monsoon Live website. Because of all the blessings that we have been given this past year, Monsoon Live is also proud to announce that we are going into a Kickstarter program. More details to follow as we get closer. We have gone a long way from that Welcome to Kids News Mania to welcome around the world to Monsoon Live. This is Mania. We've gone a long way from that. I'm sorry if I blew your eardrums out, but please be advised, this is a big show. The question I get asked from some folks is, what has this experience, the 21 years of doing this? And yes, I've been doing this for 21 years. Here's the scary thing, folks. If you type in 2015, and we're going to do it right here live because this is impromptu, as usual, to 1989. It's been 21 years since I started this show called doing this. Here's the scary thing. I've been studying the weather for 26 years, and I'm finally going forward with my degree. So this is truly a celebration. It is the biggest celebration we've ever had. We're doing a lot of cool stuff in the coming weeks. Now, next week, a very historic event will be taking place, and Monsoon Live is going to be doing a couple cut shows. We're shaking the show up a little bit because next Saturday, a certain little man is turning 2 years old. My nephew, Edward Dean Mysick, is turning 2. Monsoon Live will not be doing a show on Sunday, as we normally do. We're going to do a couple impromptu shows throughout the week. So that's what you can expect in next week's show. Then, on the 8th, we come back with vengeance as we gear up for the last show before the big one, Mania. We're also excited that following that, there'll be a couple of specials, and you'll want to tune in for that as well. In closing, this show and my life has evolved. This show came out of wanting to do something new, wanting to do something that had never been done before. We broke the ground. We broke some serious ground here. And what's funny is, I remember when we first did the show in 1994, we broke some big ground and we broke some controversial ground as well. It was never done before. 21 years later, it still exists because everyone says it's because of me. Well, yeah, I'll take the thing on that. But it's also because of you, the Monsoon Live viewers. You guys have really energized this base of this show. So, for all of us here at Monsoon Live, I want to thank you for making this a great success. And I look forward to Mania, good old Mania 21 in 3 weeks. There's been a history of Mania. You've heard it from the guy who spoke, "Let it be. Let Mania commence." I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, we are going to be covering, you're actually going to see the road trip home. We have decided, how do I get from point A to point B to point C? You're going to take a look on how I get home to Spring City. That's right, and the Monsoon Live exclusive. How a day in the life of yours truly in traveling. And to those of you who take SEPTA, this is for you. So, we will see you. This is our last show in February. In 1 month, folks. Can we do it? I'm sorry, we got to do this just because.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes. Next month, 1 month from today, I will be 32. You can send your wishes. Yes, I can't wait. 32 on March 22nd. So, folks, we will see you next week for our SEPTA show. Then we come back with the final show before Mania. We'll wrap this baby up. And then Mania 21. And then we are going to celebrate. We'll see you next week right here on Monsoon Live. For all of us here in Wallingford, our snow-covered winter weather update coming up in a little bit. Later. Happy birthday, Mania, and happy birthday, Monsoon Live.